Welcome, everyone. We are so happy that you're joining us today. I'm very excited to introduce our special guest, Master Violet Lee. Master Lee is a 12th generation Tai Chi inheritor and an award-winning journalist who is extremely passionate about promoting this healing art by writing and teaching to a global audience. Violet, it's always a pleasure to talk with you, and welcome.
Sharon, thank you. Thank you very much for hosting this great event. And I have heard great review on this program, and people found they learned so much. And then also, I'm very grateful and honored you invited me back. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So, Violet, you found Tai Chi as an adult and you embraced it wholeheartedly. So what motivated you to initially seek out Tai Chi, and why have you become such a passionate practitioner and advocate?
Funny you asked that question. Actually, I unlike a lot of people, they heard so much great things about Tai Chi, so they want to try it. And on the other hand, and because my kids were going to Chinese language school, and I had nothing else to do during those hours. Normally they go to school on Sunday afternoon. So I would sit there for 3 hours and waited until the classes are over. And about 1 year, and there was a Tai Chi instructor came from China. So I decided to give a try. And guess what? And the history, the rest is history. And I just fell in love with it immediately. And then the funny thing is, the more I practice, the more I understand it, of course. And the more I understand it, and I found the profundity and diversity in the art. And it's just incredible. And so it was 2009, right? And I attended the first International Tai Chi Symposium hosted in Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee. And you were there. And that's how we connected to each other. And I found out, oh my God, not only the art is so incredibly rich, and the health benefit is enormous. And then you can name it, it's great for the cardiovascular, and then for the bones, and for the internal organs, and so forth, and even can help to delay the onset of dementia. And so you name it. And then not to mention, it helped to improve the balance for regular people and people with Parkinson's diseases. And then additionally, I got to meet people like you, and who really care about others, and by sharing the art. And so yes, I found my own calling, and in Tai Chi. So I in a way I feel blessed, and I don't know, Tai Chi found me, or I found Tai Chi.
Yeah, I sort of feel like that too. It's interesting. We have a lot of amazing women Tai Chi masters and Qigong masters on this summit, and many of them come from a martial arts family, and they were like swimming in Tai Chi from a very young age. And I find it so interesting that you found the art as an adult, and then you just jumped into the pool with everybody else.
You say that very correctly. I jumped into the pool and without hesitation. And one thing, I'm not going to tell your age, but I can say one thing to your audience. I'm on Social Security, so I'm not a baby. And I was very weak and sick growing up, and 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 not very flexible, and I had little physical strength. But now at this high age, I actually probably is at my prime of my physical condition. Is yeah, so it's quite amazing, and people knew me from my childhood, or high school, or college. They just said, "Wow, you are very different now." so so in that sense, I'm very thankful. The Tai Chi has given me so much.
Yes. So you teach a lot of classes, especially during this past year of the pandemic. You've been teaching online. I don't know if it's every day, but I'm always seeing your stuff online. And so I'm curious, what are the obstacles that people face when they start practicing Tai Chi, and how can they overcome them?
That's an excellent questions. And I have been teaching Tai Chi for years, and taught at least 10,000 people globally, and mostly in person. And the reason I did the online Tai Chi class last year, because many of my students, they were so interested and so passionate about learning and practicing the art. So when we had a shutdown, that was mid-March last year, and right away I thought about, how about my students? What are they going to do it, right? So I had a little experience in remote teaching, so I decided to go with the live streaming. But I knew, and live streaming is very different than doing something with Zoom or other direct channel. So I learned a lot, but I also found out that it really benefit people globally. And many of the students, the first timer, they came to the class because nothing else they could do, right? And then also they are really stressed out, and so they found solace and the comfort and relief in taking the lessons. And then many of them did tell me and the challenge. And so Tai Chi Chuan is a healing art as well as a martial art. And some instructor, they focus more on the so-called the movements, how your hands should do or whatever, right? And but the most important part is the fundamentals, say the body alignment, all those things. So if people had that kind of education to begin with, and learning becomes much easier. And so I would think getting a good teacher, and that's very important, and focus on the right thing to begin with. And so yeah, that's what do you think? And I know you've been teaching for decades, and you have taught so many people. And is that about your experience also?
Yes, because I think the fundamentals of Tai Chi are things like posture, alignment, relaxation, you know, and
Yes.
and a lot of us have difficulty with all of those things. And so my question to you as a teacher and one teacher to another is how can people overcome their physical issues so that they get more benefit from Tai Chi?
Well, I always tell people this, and which is very true. And people see a lot of Tai Chi performance or whatever, the master or the champions, and that they perform, and they see they can the performance or the champions, they could kick really high, they can punch really hard, and they can squatting and crouching all the way down to the floor. And a lot of time people did not understand. They thought that's how you're being judged, but that's not what how a good Tai Chi should be, right? As you know, and I think you just mentioned something very important. Relax. The relaxation is a very important part. Yes, people are start learning a new movement and they all tense up. You tell me I should relax, but how am I going to relax when I'm learning this awfully complicated the art? Yes, so I think as an instructor, you know, I always try to emphasize and the relaxation portion and then guide the people and then through proper alignment. Actually, a lot of time when we have a proper body alignment, we can relax easily. For example, if I'm doing this, if I show the up, my neck kind of feels sore and hurt, right? And then if I'm lowering my shoulder, drop my elbow, and then it feels totally different. And in the Tai Chi fundamentals, we say, you know, lower your shoulders, drop your shoulders, sink your elbow. And it sounds so easy. However, the result is totally different. So when I teach, normally I really pay attention to how people's body alignment is and then make sure they're doing right. So they can feel, you know, very differently. And sometimes people do a punch, you know, really tense up like this. Does it feel uncomfortable? Once you drop, you feel very different. So it's all about, you know, having a good fundamental and then do it right. And then they complement to each other and make feel, you know, totally different.
Uh-huh. Another thing that I find that people either don't know much about, or in the beginning, it's very hard to focus on it because you're so busy learning where to put your feet and how to move your hand and all of these things, is how much Taoist philosophy is embedded in the Tai Chi forms. So, you know, yin and yang, for instance, how is yin and yang expressed in Tai Chi practice? And is there a way that you can kind of simplify that so people start to feel that basic aspect of Tai Chi practice?
Oh my God, you got all the good question and tough question. And be honest with you, and I don't really talk about Taoism uh, at the very beginning at all, even though the underlying philosophy of Tai Chi Chuan is based on I Ching, the book of changes, in the Taoism, and Taoism the philosophy, not Taoism the religion. Um, but Tai Chi Chuan is foreign enough, so a lot of time um, people, how should I say, they are trying to learn some movement, and then if I try to introduce this concept, and it can make them more confused. At least that's my experience. So I will just guide them through these movements, and then using these movements, and I explain the underlying philosophy so they can actually feel it and work with it. For example, you are talking about the yin and yang. It's a very abstract concept, right? And then we say yin 中有 yang, yang 中有 yin, means that there is yang in the yin and there's yin in the yang. And you just mentioned how to express it, right? And all these kind of things. So while we're doing this movement, then I will show them. Okay, so we're talking about yin and yang. So the way to express yin and yang in Tai Chi, if I shift my weight, say, to this side, and then this side is so-called the yang side. And when I slowly shift to here, then now this is yang side, and this becomes yin. So this slowly way shifting. And as we know, in the Taoism philosophy is, it doesn't stand still. In the universe, everything is keep turning. We have day and the night, winter and summer. But interesting is when in the very, very cold winter night and the longest night, and that's the beginning of the night becomes shorter. So it's continuously turning and changing. And when we look at so-called the Tai Chi Chuan symbol, a circle with an S line in the middle, right? It's not a straight line. And then if you look at how I move, and I don't move as a straight line like a seesaw. If this is the way, this is a seesaw. That's not how Tai Chi Chuan should move. You move, see? That's the infinity line or the S line. And that's the center of the Tai Chi Chuan.
So thank you for that little demonstration. That was really beautiful, especially the analogy with the infinity sign and just that smooth flowing quality of your movement, which is really a big part of what Tai Chi is. So what do you think are the main secrets of Tai Chi practice?
Another tough question. Well, um, I after practicing the art for so many years and the teaching for so long, and as you know, I'm a reporter. I have interviewed countless people, master scientists, and the practitioners, and I have found out there is a very important piece of movement, and a lot of people missed it. And sometimes people practice for decades and without knowing, they actually missed it. And that is called Hua sitting. Then Hua, the hip joints, and which we all have. And that's where your femur bone meets your pelvis bone, okay? And then we need to keep that area or the inguinal creases relaxed and folded. And then without proper folding, you cannot move your body easily. And if you notice previously, as I was doing the Tai Chi movement, the infinity sign, you see my body was turning, right? My body is not like this, right and left. Actually, they're turning, or I can demonstrate for you.
Yes, that
Body
would
makes
be
more sense.
great if you could teach us something about this very important aspect of Tai Chi practice.
Everyone, I hope you can see me well. And previously, I talked about the concept of folding the hip joint, and that's very important. And in Tai Chi Chuan, a lot of times we say, turn right, turn left. A lot of people just turn like that, okay? And this is bad. This can injure your knees. And one time I was teaching at a workshop, and most attendees were Tai Chi Chuan instructors. And one person came to me after the class, and he said, "Well, Violet, I think I should quit teaching." I said, "How so? And you're always so passionate about the art." He said, "Well, my knee hurts after practicing Tai Chi Chuan for so long." Right away, I just thought, oh, there's something's wrong because Tai Chi Chuan is good for the knees. So I said, well, show me how you turn. Say turn right in Tai Chi Chuan. So he turned like this. Okay. When you turn from your waist, and then you will pull your knees in. And if I keep turning and turning, and of course with this costume, you cannot see my knee. And but maybe you can see the knee is out of alignment with the toes. And then I start feeling stress inside the knee and also outside. And this is really, really bad. So what we need to do is, okay, back to the fundamentals. Keep the knee softly bent and fold your hip joint. Hip joints are your femur bone meets your pelvis. And or we call this area inguinal crucis. In Chinese, we call it qua. So we want to fold it. Okay, now I shift my weight to the right. And if I fold, see my body naturally turn to the right corner of. And but my left knee or this knee doesn't pull in like this. Okay, so I shift weight and fold, and shift weight and fold. So it doesn't matter you do high stand or low stand. You do the same thing. You can go high as you please, or you can go low. And it doesn't matter how you do it. You will not hurt your knee. And instead, you strengthen your knees. However, many people neglect this part. And then when they turn, I don't know if I can do it wrong way. They do this way. And then when they do this, they pull the knee in. And this is so bad. And not only they hurt themselves, and then they're losing that so-called silk reeling power Tai Chi Chuan offer. And so this is very, very important. And I have seen so many practitioners, and including instructor, miss this part.
So Violet, that was really useful to feel the right position for the knee, because you're right. A lot of people come to Tai Chi and they do their forms incorrectly and they create knee problems that they have to deal with for a long time. Um, but I'm wondering if you could really share with us this sitting qua or qua sitting. I think you used the words that way, qua sitting practice.
Yes. Oh, definitely. I will do a little sharing later on. And one thing I do want to mention is some people, they are really, doing Tai Chi for martial art purpose. And yes, it's great for health. And we all know that. And however, if you want to do it for martial art purpose, you really, really need to sit the qua correctly. Later on, I will demonstrate to the audience and let's see if you want to throw a real powerful punch, and how do you do that? And it's by proper qua sitting and weight shifting, and it's very important. And if you cannot do it right, and then as I mentioned, that you lost so-called the silk reeling, the energy. Silk reeling should be the fundamental of all Tai Chi Chuan. And some people call it spiraling. And if you think about it, also jack, jack up the car. And they are not that big, but they can raise the car up really well because the spiraling energy. And so by doing the figure eight, I was doing it, or infinity things, I was actually creating that silk reeling power. And some people, they heard about silk reeling, but they thought the silk reeling is only the head. But silk reeling actually is the whole body things. It's in the fingers, and see when I'm doing it, every finger is moving, right? And the wrist is turning also. And so is elbow and the shoulder. And but the most important part, a lot of people miss it, is your whole body, your torso, your core, your core area. And then your core area will not create that spiraling energy unless you sit correctly. And as I mentioned, if you want to throw a punch powerful, and then you really need to sit your quad right, and then you throw the punch. So yes, and for all of you, if you want to improve your gain and get more power for your art, and really this is the secret, and then and then to make it work. Yeah.
Great. So I'm looking forward to experiencing this.
Okay, well,
Go for it.
thank you so much, and I will do that. Okay, everyone, as I mentioned, it is so important to properly to set the quad or fold the hip joint. And so first you open your legs about hip width apart and put your hands where your inguinal creases are. And don't tilt your pelvis forward. A lot of aerobic exercise, they ask people to tilt pelvis forward. And then when you tilt it forward, you can experiment, you can feel this part is flat. That's not what we want, because once it's flat, in Tai Chi Chuan, we say ding, means stuck. Your hip joint is no longer flexible. So let me show you the side way. You want to sit, feel like you're sitting on a high stool, okay? And then so now you put your hands here and feel the fold, right? And if you go higher, your folds may not be that deep, but that's okay. And so let's open the legs a little wider. I am mirror image you. So this is your right side. This is your left side. And we shift the weight to your right side. Keep your left knee softly bent. Now you fold your hip joint, okay? Right hip joint. Make sure your left knee doesn't come in like this. Left knee still aligned with the left toes. So your body naturally facing the right corner. And now you shift weight to your left and slowly fold your left hip joint. And now shift to right and fold right. Shift left, fold left. And late Grandmaster Chen Manqing called this simple exercise called bear movement, BEAR. And he mentioned it can increase our energy level as well as making us stronger, especially the leg. And based on the scientific study, when we have this so-called yin and yang transformation, the serotonin level as well as dopamine will increase the secretion. And you know what that means, right? It makes us a lot more happier and healthier. So now you can add an arm. Your right arm out to the corner. Now you fold your right hip joint. Slowly shift weight to your left. Fold left, shift right. You kind of look at left corner. Now you shift, fold right. So slowly transforming the yin and the yang by weight shifting. And you breathe in and out slowly. As I mentioned previously, relax your shoulder, relax your elbow. Your elbow should not be the same height as your shoulder. Good. How about let's change arm. Left arm out. Shift to your right. With this type of weight shifting and quad sitting, you can go any level without hurting your knees. Good. This is the silk reeling of our quad area or our torso. So your body no longer shifting weight, seesawing. That's, I see that all the time. Some people could kick really high, squat really low, but they are just doing this. But that's not good. And so now let's do the 2 arm. Then shift to left, then left, shift right, then right. Good. You can put your favorite music as you're doing this. I highly encourage you do this every day, even though you've been practicing Tai Chi for a long time. But a lot of time people don't focus on the hip joint folding, and they're just busy and doing all the other movements. So if you just focus on the simple things like this, and actually can deepen your skill. Good. Let's just go for one more set. Just one. Good. Bring your feet in, tap on your legs. Always remember to relax your leg muscles, and that's very important. Previously, I mentioned, okay, the punching. I say, can really, so if I'm doing a hidden hand punch, okay, fold the right hip joint. Notice I shift weight, the right quad. So instead of, if people doing this, and I see sometimes people like trying so hard like this, relax, keep your body upright and sit quad and punch. Well, I think my time is up. And thank you very much for joining us today. And I'm preparing a bonus video for you, which will have a little bit more this teaching. So if you are interested, please watch the video. Thank you.
So Violet, before you totally disappear, how can people reach you? And can you let us know what you're teaching online these days?
Oh, well, I teach various classes, both Qigong and Tai Chi classes. And people can find out information at the Violet Lee. Lee spelled as L-I, not L-E-E. Violet, VIOLETLI.com. That's my website. And if you're there, drop me a note. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. Or if you have any questions, let me know. Yeah.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful session. I always love talking with you because you bring such joy and happiness to your practice, and it's infectious. So thank you so much.
Well,
And
thank you very much for having me. Yes.
you're very welcome. And thanks to all of you out there in the audience. I look forward to seeing you soon.